Welcome to DROD'S MMA and Boxing. Here's a breakdown of a great grappling match between Rafael Dos Anjos, who's a black belt jiu-jitsu, and Khabib Nurmagomedov, who is a Sambo fighter. Khabib's takedowns were sensational. He just picked Rafael up like a rag dog and threw him around however he chose to, and he used that great size and strength advantage over Rafael Dos Anjos. Now, Rafael decided to take the fight to him, in which Nurmagomedov ended up executing this beautiful haragoshi, which is a hip sweeping throw. Now, there's a rule of thumb in judo, jiu-jitsu, and sambo, whatever you want to call it. Wherever the head goes, the body must follow. So Rafael Dos Anjos' head is leaning to that right side. All his weight is on Nurmagomedov. So Nurmagomedov basically traps the right leg, and he's going to throw him in the direction where all Rafael Dos Anjos' weight is going. So Rafael's leg crosses over, he's off balance, and it makes it easy for him to execute this beautiful haragoshi. Now they end up in his deep half guard position. There's two different types of guard. There's a full guard, which basically both legs are wrapped around the person's waist, and there's a half guard, which basically two legs are wrapped around the top person's leg. This is a deep half, which means Rafael is deep underneath the base of Nurmagomedov. You wonder why he doesn't punch him in the face? Well, the reason being is because he understands that Rafael can rock him off his base and be able to disturb his base and be able to do many different sweeps. So he want to make sure that he handled the situation properly instead of giving up the position by trying to be careless and throw strikes. There's many different sweeps from this position. There's this double under sweeps, which is a really good sweep to go to, and then he can actually go to the back from this position. So Nurmagomedov want to make sure he really take care of the situation properly. And he does by underhooking the left leg of Rafael Dos Anjos, which prevents him from doing all those other sweeps that I said and prevents him from being able to disturb his base. Now, Nurmagomedov does something I've never seen before. He takes that right arm and puts it into the armpit of Rafael Dos Anjos, and then he raises his elbow in between his knee. So Rafael is going to try to pull that leg over his head, but he can't because the elbow is pretty much blocking the knee from going over his head, and the elbow is attached to his body. So basically, it's not going to happen. I don't understand why he even went for that move in the first place, because all of Nurmagomedov's weight is on that left knee, and it seemed like it's counterproductive to attack that side of the leg because it's going to require a lot of strength. Basically, Nurmagomedov does a great job, and the fight, that position ends there, and that's pretty much it for that. He does a great job from defending. Now, and the second thing I like is Nurmagomedov is trying to prevent Rafael from being able to recover guard. Rafael answers by pulling that arm, the wrist, out of the way, and now it opens up for him to be able to recover guard, and I thought that was awesome. Here he goes for the deep half again, but this time the head is kind of loose, and it's not really contained, as I want to say. He's not secured. And so what I like to do is I like to get a deep I like to get a deep crossface, and I like to make my hips heavy, and my goal is probably to push that head to the side and flatten him out, which will pretty much give me a lot of leverage and control of that position. Rafael Dos Anjos pulls the leg over his head, but for some reason, maybe because it's slippery, but Nurmagomedov end up slipping out of the position. Great punch block defense. One of the reasons I got into jiu-jitsu because I cared a lot about the defense. As you can see here, he's got good control of the head. He's controlled the posture, which keeps him from being able to get hit. Now, this single leg was beautiful. Nurmagomedov gets Dos Anjos to go one direction, and then he runs the pike in the other direction and gets a beautiful takedown. The difference between a black belt and a white belt is very simple. A white belt won't know he's in a bad position and will go for submissions that are pretty much meaningless and will burn out his arms and get tired. A black belt, on the other hand, he knows that he doesn't have the leverage, and so what he's going to do is use that disadvantaged position to be able to either stand back up or just enough time to buy him some time from getting punched in the face. And I thought that was pretty interesting to see. Very high level grappling match here. Rafael is going to defend the takedown by just going for a submission, but Nurmagomedov is very smart. His entire weight is on that right leg because he understands that Rafael, as you see here, he's trying to get that hips elevated. Rafael needs the left hip to hit the ground in order for him to have leverage to be able to maintain this choke. He also want to get that right elbow as far down as possible, but it's going to be very difficult just because Nurmagomedov, one, he has that left leg posted, which is he's able to push off of, and two, because he's pushing all his weight onto that right leg. Rafael realizes that he has nothing there, and he's gonna have to give up that position or burn up his arms. Very highly technical match between two great grapplers, and I just want to break down this fight for you. This is DROD'S MMA Boxing. Leave a comment at the bottom. Tell me what you guys think.